Hello, I am still in the extremely beautiful country of Ethiopia in Africa, and I make this video as a European on June 30, 2021, exactly at 11 a.m. in the morning. However, here in Ethiopia it is not 2021, it is still 2013, and only in 2.5 months time, on September 11, it will become 2014. Even more interesting, it is almost midday, everyone is working here in Ethiopia. However, it is not even 11 a.m, it is here 5 a.m. in the morning. So in this video I want to explain you where the differences come from in the date, the calendar, and even the time. The world is getting more and more standardized. More and more countries are just copying each other. Central governments, local governments, they just follow and copy what other governments or other big cities are doing. Big media, global businesses, they have interest in uniform products and uniform marketing. So we people, we give up more and more of our cultural traditions, and we give up more and more of our liberty. So for that reason, it is a blessing, it is really a big pleasure if you can live, for example, in other countries such as Russia or India, who are still fighting to keep hold of their own traditions. So now for the last couple of weeks I have been in the country of Ethiopia, and I explained on other videos Ethiopia is a fantastic country, and one of the reasons is because they have remained independent for so long. So you can still see here the way the traditional life was without too much influence from Western countries. So one thing that is different is this date, this calendar, and this time. And I'm going to explain you right now first about the difference in the calendar between Ethiopia and other Western countries. So why is there a difference between the calendar in Ethiopia and the calendar in most other countries in this world? It has to do with the calculation and the estimation of the year in which Jesus was born. In order to explain it a little bit history, if you go back more than 2,000 years ago, at the time of the birth of Jesus, at that time we had a Roman calendar and we also had a Hebrew calendar. And both calendars were based on the monthly cycle of the moon and on the annual cycle of the earth rotating the sun. So this calendar was quite difficult to use for the ordinary person. It was difficult to determine which day exactly it is. Only real astronomers were able to do that. So then came the Emperor Julius Caesar, and he changed the whole calendar structure, and that new calendar structure has since then been known as the Julian calendar. So the Julian calendar started in the month of March. That was the first month of the year. It was the first month of springtime. It was also the first month when the troops were preparing again for new battle. So it started with March. Also Julius Caesar, he liked to put his own name to a new month, and that month was later called July. Later Emperor August came, he also liked to have his own month, which became the month of August. And then going forward, like September is the sept from 7, it was the 7th month, October, November, December, months number 8, 9 and 10. And the months ended with January and February. So in this Julian calendar there were, the year consists of 365 days, except for the leap year, which was every 4 years, and the leap year had 366 days, and that last day was added to the last month of the year, which was at that time February. Then hundreds of years later, like in 600, 800 after Christ, Christian scholars defined that the first day of counting this Julian calendar should be the year in which Jesus was born. However, it was quite difficult to define which year Jesus was born. There was uncertainty. Most Christian scholars defined the year of Jesus' birth at the year 1 Anno Domini, and Anno Domini stands for the year of the Lord. However, there were also some scholars who defined his birth date in the year 9 Anno Domini, so like 7 or 8 years later, and that is exactly the difference between the Ethiopian calendar, who was basing themselves on this birth date in the year 9, and the normal Western calendar, which is based on the birth date in the year 1. Other interesting things that happened is in the year 1582, then there was a pope, a Catholic pope with the name Gregorius the 13th, and he made some changes in the Julian calendar, and since then the calendar is called the Gregorian calendar. One main change is that they changed the length of the year. Remember, in the Julian calendar, the average length of a year was 365.25 days, but with the Gregorian calendar they changed that to 365.2425. Small difference, but an important difference. Also, the start of the year moved from March to January. So most Catholic countries started to adopt that change. However, many other countries, especially the Orthodox countries like Russia, for example, but also Ethiopia, which has remained completely independent, did not follow this change. So they are still following the old calendar, whereby they based themselves in Ethiopia on the birth date of Jesus Christ in the year 9 after Christ, so the year 9 Anno Domini. So why is there also a difference in time in Ethiopia? Like right now I'm making this video close to midday, it is 11 a.m. for me as a Westerner. That is also the time in East Africa, and Ethiopia is part of East Africa. So 11 a.m. is the official time. However, in Ethiopia they call 11 a.m., they call it 5 a.m. So it is 5 a.m. in the morning. And that creates quite some confusion. For example, a couple of days ago I booked a taxi and I insisted on the taxi driver, you must be here tomorrow at 5 a.m. sharp. There can be no delay. I have to go to the airport. I don't want to be stuck in the traffic jam. So you must be there 5 a.m. sharp. Taxi driver said he understood everything. He would be there at 5 a.m. However, the next day I'm standing there outside with my suitcase. 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., but there was no taxi. Later I understood that the taxi driver had misunderstood what I explained to him. 5 a.m. for him meant 5 a.m. local time, Ethiopian time, which is 11 a.m. almost midday for a Westerner. So why is there this difference? First of all, Ethiopia is a super fantastic, beautiful country, but it is a country which has remained independent for hundreds of years. It has never been colonized, so it did not follow so much all the things which were happening in other countries. But the other more important reason is that Ethiopia is lying close to the equator, and if you live close to the equator, the time, the duration of daylight is almost similar than the duration of the darkness. So it's like 12 hours daylight, 12 hours darkness, and also normally that lightness starts at about 6 o'clock. So every day for the whole year, every day the light comes up almost at 6 o'clock sharp. So for the last hundreds of years in Ethiopia, they start counting their day, they start their day as the day gets to dawn, which for us as Westerners is 6 a.m., but for them that is when they start counting. Makes all logical sense to start your day when it starts to become sunshine. So 7 a.m. for example for a Westerner, for them is 1 a.m. Very interesting. I hope you also find that interesting, and I hope that later you will visit this beautiful country, Ethiopia. And when you do, be prepared, because when, for example, you have an appointment with one of your friends and there can be a lot of confusion. For example, when you agree to meet them at 10 a.m., So you are waiting there. They said they would come and pick you up 10 a.m. in the morning. You are ready. However, they only show up 6 hours later, which is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You are confused, but they are also confused because for them 10 a.m. means 4 o'clock in the morning, in the afternoon, sorry. Many other interesting things in relation to the differences between the Ethiopian calendar and the Western calendar. For example, in Ethiopia, the year has 13 months, not just 12. So there's the first 12 months have exactly 30 days, and then the last month has normally 5 days, but in a leap year it has 6 days. And they call this leap year the Luke year. And after that there is the John year, and then the Matthew and the Mark year. Also, Christmas, for example, is not on December 25, but it is on January 7. So if you want to celebrate Christmas 2 times this year, make a trip to this fantastic, beautiful country, Ethiopia. It is a virgin country, beautiful, unique country in the world. I thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, you can click on the like button, and if you want more of this kind of content, then click on the subscribe button. I thank you for watching.